What's up, and welcome to the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I'm your host, Kat Kozad, manifestation expert, money mindset and fulfillment coach, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur. Come sit with me while I spill the real tea on what it's like to practice using intentional manifestation, demystify all of the woo-woo and confusing bullshit that comes along with creating the life of your dreams, and give you a realistic view of what it's like to be on a personal, spiritual, and professional growth journey. The goal of this podcast is to support and guide you towards manifesting all of your dreams, shed light on the things that people are too scared to talk about, and encourage you to become the person who gets to have it all, be it all, and do it all. I am so happy you are here. Let's fucking do this thing. What's up, loves? Welcome back to another episode of the No Bullshit Manifestation Show. I have a fun one for you today. So this has been a podcast topic that has been a popular request. And I'm doing this because I know a lot of us have people in our lives that just don't get it. They hear that you're getting into manifestation or that you manifested something and they just are so confused, or they make fun of it, or whatever the case may be. And this is breaking down manifestation for people who just don't get it. And I'm really excited for it because I used to be one of those people who just didn't get it. I remember one memory in particular. I was working at a restaurant in Denver, and one of my coworkers said to me that she had manifested something and was explaining to me what manifestation was. And it was just such a joke to me. And I completely rejected the idea. I totally told her that it was a bunch of bullshit and that all of that was a bunch of woo-woo fake shit that isn't going to actually help her. And here we are, probably 6 years later, manifestation expert, helping other people understand what manifestation is when they just don't get it. And with that being said too, is this may be your parents, this may be your spouse, this may be your friends, and feel free to send this podcast episode to them, because my goal always is helping people understand manifestation in a very practical and bite-sized way, so that you can actually see how this holds value and importance in your life, and you're able to start to implement it into your life. So yes, feel free to send this podcast episode your way so that they can understand what you're doing, and they can choose to support you if they want to, or they can choose to join you if they want to. But with all of that being said, let's get into this and let's break this down. So what is manifestation? Manifestation is a means of creation. It is how you are creating your reality. The definition of manifestation is using your thoughts and your subconscious mind to create your reality. And to break that down into even simpler words, essentially what this means is that your words create your thoughts create your beliefs are what you identify with, and we manifest into our lives what we are, what we identify with, and what we know with absolute certainty. And this is where a lot of people will come up with this, oh, okay, so if I just think about XYZ, if I just think about the money, if I just think about the relationship, if I just think about the house, if I just think about whatever it is, then it's just gonna magically show up in my reality and I don't need to do anything about it. And LOL, no, that is not what this means. This means that what you identify with on a conscious and subconscious level is going to dictate your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, your habits, all of these different pieces of your life. And those different pieces make up your vibration. And your vibration is essentially the energy that you give off. So, as we all know, everything is energy. This is something that has been proven time and time again by science. And therefore, this means the thoughts that we think, the emotions that we feel, the actions that we take, all of the different pieces that make us up essentially hold a vibrational frequency, which then collectively, all of these different parts of you make up your personal vibrational frequency. And then this vibration gets emitted out into the quantum field or the universe. And by the law of attraction, which is a universal law of nature, just like the law of gravity, states that you will attract back like vibrational energy. So what this essentially means is that like the energy that you put out into the world, out into the universe, is the energy that you are going to receive back. So that means that you're going to attract back people, things, opportunities, whatnot, to this vibration, the same vibrational frequency of your personal vibration. So with all of that, that means that if your life looks or feels like shit right now, if it looks or feels a way that you do not want it to, if it feels and looks subpar or just like you're settling and it could be better, or if it feels so amazing and you are absolutely in love with your life, that is because your personal vibration manifested that experience. You manifested your entire life right now. And manifestation, especially intentional manifestation, is so important to understand for so many reasons. One of those reasons being that we are manifesting every single thing into our life on a daily basis, whether you are aware of it or not. And that's why I say manifestation versus intentional manifestation, because you're always manifesting your reality. Whether you've been aware of it or not, your entire life up until this point is a manifestation of past thoughts, past emotions, and past behaviors. So wherever you are right now, take a look around at what your circumstances look like. Take a look around and how do you feel about these different circumstances? How do you feel about your love life? How do you feel about your finances? How do you feel about your job? How do you feel about your relationships? How do you feel about yourself? Because all of those things are a manifestation of your belief system. Like I said, everything in your reality can be traced back to a belief that you have held consciously or subconsciously. So if and when you are wanting to improve your life or elevate in any sort of way, that means that you have to do the work to understand what beliefs you currently have, what is the story that you tell yourself about your life, and if it is something that is not supportive, then rewire what subconscious beliefs you have about yourself, about your life, about money, about love, about all of the different things, because the subconscious mind makes up 95% of the human brain and is typically molded between ages 0 to 7 by our parents, our primary caregivers, teachers, society, media, friends, parents, etc. And in addition to this, the subconscious mind is responsible for our belief systems. So all of those things that you learn as a child, for the most part, there are some exceptions to this of like different experiences that have rewired your subconscious mind since. But for the most part, majority of people, it's ages 0 to 7. So like all of those things that you learned through the behaviors, through the words, through the feelings, through these different experiences that you saw from these people growing up, then create what you believe and what you will continue to manifest in some way or another over and over and over again as an adult until you take the look at what has created this in the first place and do the work to pinpoint it and eliminate it so that you can start to implement new thought patterns and new behaviors that will essentially create new neural pathways inside of the subconscious mind so that you're rewiring the structure of your psychology to work for you versus against you. And in addition to this, on a daily basis, we are typically thinking 60 to 70,000 thoughts, 90% of those thoughts being the same thing that we thought about from the day before, and 95% of those thoughts being subconscious. So if you ever find yourself playing out the same patterns over and over and over again in your life, or similar circumstances continuing to happen over and over and over again in your life, whether this be with your finances, with your job, with your relationship, with all different aspects, this is because that there is some sort of belief in your subconscious mind that is continuing to manifest this reality. Because if it's there, and it is there, it's in your subconscious mind, because the subconscious mind is manifesting and creating 95% of your life, then that means if you want to create change and like long-lasting, sustainable change where you're actually going to get the results that you want, this means that you have to step into the position of, instead of changing everything in your external reality to create the change that you're wanting to see, you have to take this internal look and understand what beliefs created this reality in the first place. Because going back to what I was talking about earlier on, anything that we believe is going to dictate our emotion, our words, and our behavior. And those different pieces are what make up our vibrational frequency. And therefore, that being emitted out into the universe by the law of attraction attracts back in like vibrational circumstances to what these subconscious beliefs are. So what intentional manifestation comes down to is becoming aware of what your like quote unquote autopilot is and what it has been, and starting to make the active shifts in your belief system, in your behaviors that you embody, and in your emotions, so that you can emit out a new energy that will help you manifest the things that you are wanting in your life, versus just running with the autopilot, sticking with all of the things that you've always ran with, like not questioning yourself and questioning why you tell yourself those stories in the first place, seeing if they're supportive to you or if they're detrimental to you, and just like accepting them. Because the reality is like you will continue to manifest the same shit over and over and over again if you do not take this intentional look and truly become aware of like, what is the story that you do tell yourself about your life? If you were to become so aware of what you are putting your focus and attention into on a daily basis, would you be thrilled with it? And the reality is, for like majority of people, the answer would be no. Because when it comes to like what we are taught and the beliefs that form our realities, especially like growing up in the United States, we're taught like a fuck ton of limiting stories when it comes to our finances, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to like life just in general. We're given this like very scarce, hard, limited, fearful perspective. And therefore, majority of people grow up and they struggle. And this is a byproduct of our belief systems. And our society has always taught us this like very old dusty belief of, when I see it, then I'll believe it. But the reality is like, if you want something to happen in your life, you have to believe it first. You have to create the belief around it, because once again, that belief is going to dictate your thoughts, which become your beliefs. and your identity and what you know with absolute certainty and what you're going to manifest into your reality, because that's going to impact the way that you choose to show up for life, the behaviors that you have, the habits that you have, the words that you speak, the emotions that you're feeling, and that energy, that personal vibration that I've been talking about, that then gets emitted out into the quantum field and is returned back to you by the law of attraction in like vibrational circumstances. And I can speak from my personal experience. So when I first started to dive into the world of manifestation and really start to understand this and implement it into my life, it was such a wake-up call to me. The fact that my shitty reality that I had before is what I manifested, because I played the victim in my life so hard for my entire life up until finding intentional manifestation. It felt like life was happening to me and that I could never catch a break, that I was dealt a shitty hand of cards in life, that I was just not the kind of person who got to have the things that she wanted, that I was always going to struggle, blah, blah, blah. Like all of these limiting stories. And I manifested that. Like I manifested a life where things were hard for me because that's what I identified with. And that's what I held so closely to me. And when I became aware of that story and truly started to understand why I believed I was the victim in the first place, that finally gave me the power to start to change and start to uproot those beliefs that I had learned that taught me that I was the victim, so that I could step into this position of power inside of myself. And through changing my thoughts, my actions, and my emotions about my life, have now been able to manifest the life of my dreams in less than 2 years. Like go from $70,000 in debt, not making enough money to survive, working a job that I absolutely hated, just feeling like the most sad, lost, broke version of myself that was constantly trying to escape my life by using alcohol and drugs and sex and all of these different things, to now being in the position of like living a life of complete freedom, having complete time freedom, location freedom, manifesting multiple 5 figures a month consistently, being completely financially free, feeling just like so centered and secure and confident and happy inside of myself, and like truly living out all of the dreams that I had for myself, because I now know that it's possible, because I've unlearned all of those limiting beliefs that were holding me back from what was actually true for me at my core, which was like the fact that I was capable of having, being, and doing every single thing that I wanted, and really allowed me to come back into this position, like I've said, of power inside of myself to make it happen and to manifest these different things into my reality. And that's exactly what manifestation is. And I want to say this because it's like manifestation is given such a bad rap. It's like it's believed that it's all of this woo-woo bullshit where you have to act all witchy and it requires a ton of rituals, and that it's magic and you have to write shit down on a piece of paper and like pray to the moon and all of these different things. And like that shit's not true. Manifestation is something that we are innately doing. We are manifesting every single part of our realities. You do not have to have all of these weird witchy rituals in order to make it happen. It's not magic. It's none of those things that I just mentioned. It's literally quantum physics and psychology at play in our lives every single day. And if you want more control over your life and the way that it's going, and really want to put yourself into a position of power, then learning how to hone in on this innate power that you already have, of learning how to manifest what you want into your life, is going to be one of the most beneficial things that you could possibly do for yourself. Because like I've said, we're doing it 100% of the time. This is not something that just some people can do and other people can't. We are all doing this 100% of the time. So it's super important to understand, dive into, learn, and implement into your life if you want your life to look and feel the way that you actually want it to, as opposed to like just rolling with the punches and letting life throw its punches at you and settling and feeling like life is this uphill battle to get what you want, because the reality is like that's only true if that is the belief that you have about your life. And you have the power, like I've been saying, to unlearn all of the shit that taught you that you are limited and that you do have to settle and that things can't be that easy and blah, 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 like all of the limiting stories that we've been conditioned to believe, and really choosing for yourself that things can be different if you want them to. So that is what I have for you on today's episode. And with all of that being said, if you are completely new to the world of manifestation and this episode really resonated with you, and you are wanting more, you are wanting to learn exactly how you can create the life that you are wanting for yourself, and you are done allowing your autopilot and your limiting beliefs to run the show, the perfect opportunity for you is to join the Abundant AF Babe Academy. And for anybody who is new to the podcast, this is my signature online manifestation program where you learn step by step exactly how to manifest what you want into your life and how to rewire the structure of your subconscious mind and shift your energy and shift your set point of attraction to manifest bigger, better, and more abundant things into your life, especially money. There's so much about money inside of it because money has the largest role in our lives out of almost everything. So like I said, if this podcast episode has resonated with you, then this is such a perfect opportunity for you to actually learn exactly how to manifest the things that you want. But if you're not ready for that, then please check out the other podcast episodes because I dive deep into all of this. And like I said, break it down in a way that is very understandable so that you can actually start to manifest the things that you desire into your life. And that's all I got for you. So I'm sending you all of my love, and I'll chat with you on the next episode. Oh my gosh, thank you for listening to today's episode. I am so grateful to have these no bullshit talks with you. If you enjoyed today's episode or the podcast as a whole, please spread the love by leaving me a review on iTunes or sharing the podcast with others. This is how I will be able to spread more of these good vibes and be able to make more of an impact on the lives of others. And if you're not already part of all of the goodness and communities that I have to offer, check out the show notes. I have links to the different ways that I can support you on your manifestation journey and help you live a life full of more money, fulfillment, and freedom. But that is all for now. So big love and hugs, and I will chat with you soon, babe.